Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Slightly Warped Podcast. I'm Rick, joined as always by Big Show. Show, how are you, man?
Tired.
Man, we were just talking about that. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. It has been a brutal week, and we only halfway there.
I'm better this week than I was last week, emotionally, but yeah, I'm still tired.
Well, I tell you what, I know you better after these uh these games that happened here. Just to let everybody know, before we get to the subject matter, during the NFL season, Big Show and I make our picks. And after week one, I had 13 wins and three losses. Big Show had 10 wins and six losses. The script was literally flipped last week. Big Show went 13 and three. I went 10 and six. So now we are tied
We're
at
tied.
23 and nine.
That's
And
awesome.
just to let everybody know, let me see if I've got these. I usually keep that stuff around here somewhere. Where's week two? Yeah, there's week two. We might as well put that up here for the whole world to see my failings. So put that right there, and we'll go over them. Look at all that green on Big Show's side. Mine's got a lot of red in there. It looks like Christmas, but it ain't Christmas.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, we both went right on the Packers, Bengals, Cowboys, Lions, and Rams, and then it all went to shit. I figured the Dolphins would, wake up, but it looks like the Dolphins are on their way to being a dumpster fire. Uh, you were right with the Patriots. They weren't as bad as we thought in week one. 49ers Saints, I got a little bit of redemption because the Saints are just that bad. We both went with the Bills. We were fooled by the Steelers. Ravens, we got that one. I thought the Broncos were going to win that game right up until that last kick. And I guess that's
They
why they
should.
say
I mean, they
60
should have won,
minutes.
but still, it was a chicken crap call.
Yeah.
But still,
Uh, man, that Chiefs Eagles game. uh, and I guess, it's bittersweet for me because I don't really care that the Chiefs win or lose, but it was just how that game just got away from them. They weren't very Chief like. Um, you could say what you will about Travis dropping that pass and that ended up in the arms of the Philly defender, but there was a lot of mistakes on the offensive and defensive side. But one thing I want to point out to you before we finish this list here, much is being said about Philly's tush push. I'm going to say this, and you can tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Offense has 11 people, right?
yes,
Defense has 11 people, right?
yes,
So when they line up, both sides are facing each other. The strongest side is going to win. And if you want to defeat the tush push, you stop it. If you can't stop it, they're going to get that 1 or 2 yards. That's not cheating.
it
That's just a
it it
play.
it, it is, and it's not a football play. It's a rugby play.
Can you expand on that, good sir?
Yeah, it's a scrum. It's not even a football play. And it's not fair on both sides of the ball because on defense you cannot push your players, but on offense you can.
Okay, say that again for the kids at home that are like, huh?
So on so on defense, I can't if I'm a linebacker lined up behind Chris Jones, we'll just use him and he's a D tackle over the center. I can't run into the back of Chris Jones to push
Okay.
him forward. Whereas on the tush push, you have the offensive line surging forward, and then you have Jalen Hurts going in the middle, but then you have the fullback and the running back pushing the quarterback forward to help, so instead of a 250 pound man, you got a 750 pound man pushing forward.
Okay.
because you
So
have three people moving the ball, and it's and plus, and it's pointed out this week that there's practically a false start on every one of those plays.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it can't be called because it is so difficult for the referees to see that. Now, both sides lined up offsides or in the neutral zone. I mean, obviously that's,
yeah. I
you
saw
know.
the overhead picture on that. So yeah,
And the other thing too, which makes it difficult, is you. I'm pretty sure you cannot line up if you have a defensive lineman that lines head to head over the center. That's an illegal formation. I'm
mm,
pretty sure, which is why you never see the fattest, biggest dude lined up over the center. Um, I really think it's a stupid play. It's a boring play, you know, because technically Philly could technically tush push from the 1 yard line all the way down to the other side, and it can't be stopped because you can't referee it. You can't ref it correctly.
that's true.
But I say that to say this: that's not why the Chiefs lost. It wasn't because of the tush push.
Agreed. Chiefs have some holes. Hopefully, they'll get that remedied. We'll
Well, I
get to that in
mean,
a second.
I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, obviously every team has holes, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we were one missed throw away from being ahead.
right. And I honestly think that if Kansas City had taken the lead, probably would have won that game because you're forcing Philly to play from behind. They're not that type of team. They can do it. It's not like they're a team that can't do it. I mean, there's a few of those who can't,
Well,
but
I mean,
it's not in their bread and butter. It's not in their DNA.
right, and I think Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback of a 2-0 team that has yet to throw a touchdown pass this year.
I believe so. Yeah. But what does that say when Daniel Jones is balling out and
Danny
he's
Diamonds.
yeah. Woo, what was that meme about leaving New York to become a great player?
Yep, that's all you got to do.
Closing out this list, the Vikings, we thought that they were really going to do something. They got exposed by the Falcons. The Buccaneers were the Buccaneers. They won. And then, my pride, I went with the Raiders. And I'm not going to lie to you, the Chargers were the better team. I still believe that the Chargers are not in any way, shape, or form in the top five in the AFC. We'll get to that. But they were the superior team. And it showed.
I actually think they are number 5 in the AFC.
Okay, well, we will definitely get to that then. Um, let me just turn that off. Get back to our regularly scheduled programming. You mentioned, hey Rick, tell me your top 10 teams in the NFL,
Power
and that
rankings.
power rankings. All right, give me a second, because I need to, I need to look at this right. Oh man, you're making me put them in order. That
Do you want me to give you mine while you're doing yours?
yes, please.
All right. So at number 10, I have the Commanders.
Woo, that low, huh?
At number 9, I have the Colts.
Mm.
At num at number 8, I have the Lions.
Whoa.
At number 7, I have the Chargers. At number 6, I have the Bucks. At number 5, I have the Ravens.
Okay.
At number 4, I have the Rams.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
At number 3, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Mm.
At number 2, I have the Green Bay Packers. And at number 1, I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow. Okay. Um, our list is drastically different then. At
Now, this is just week 3. This is just
yeah,
week 3 power rankings.
I
This is where
feel
they
you.
are this week. Yeah.
This is where I have them. At number
All right.
10, I've got the Colts. Number 9, I've got the Commanders. Number 8, the Chargers. Remember, I told you I didn't think they were top 5. And here's the reason why. 7, Buccaneers. 6, Rams. 5, Lions. 4, Packers. 3, Ravens. 2, Eagles. 1, Bills.
I put the Colts above the Commanders because they're 2-0. Commanders are 1-1.
Yeah.
I put the Chargers above the Lions because they're 2-0. The Lions are 1-1. I couldn't put the Ravens above the Bills, Packers, or Eagles. So I mean, we're close.
Yeah. And
The Bills are not above the Eagles just because I mean, Bills beat the Ravens. Yeah, that's great. But then they played the Jets. Big whoop. Philadelphia played Cowboys and the Chiefs, So I was looking at, who they played, not necessarily, uh, who I think is the better team. Now, you you said Chargers not in the top five, and you're absolutely right. But you said top five in the AFC.
well, let's see here. I got the Bills, the Ravens. Ooh. Ooh. I guess by
Exactly.
that account, yeah, I do have them in the top 5 in the AFC.
Exactly. The Chargers
Man,
are good.
the Chargers
The
are
Chargers
sneaky.
are Chargers are arguably the best team in the AFC West right now.
I can't say no to that. I mean, even though, it's only 2 weeks
If they
down.
beat if
I
they
mean, they
beat
beat the
Denver
Chiefs. If they
this
beat
week,
Denver, yeah.
right? But if they beat Denver this week, they're going to be 3-0 in the division, and every one of the divisions are going to have a loss in the division.
Yeah, which
Everybody else,
which makes them actually a half game up on there, right? 3.5 games up on
two
uh
and a half games.
2.5 games. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah,
Um,
but obviously, I don't have the Chiefs in the top 10. Um, although I'm not worried about them.
yeah, I mean, they're gonna climb back up there. Let's be real. Uh Andy's gonna have them ready to play eventually. I'm not going all out saying, oh, they'll be in midseason form next week, but they are
I
going to
don't.
get better. And they're going to
I
get a
they
win.
just well, and here's also my take on the Chiefs, real quick. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they there's some the vibe is off. I mean, if you looked at vibes, they're just the feeling of the team, the overall team is just off. Um,
Let me ask you this
and
before we.
I actually think, and I've told my buddies
Mhm.
this, I actually think they're going to take a step back this year.
How far
Um,
back? That's my question. Do you think it'll be a Super Bowl hangover?
I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, you can't say a Super Bowl hangover, say a dynasty hangover. I mean, they've been to the AFC Championship game 7 straight years.
Right. And it
That's a
catches
lot.
up with you. It
That's a
catches up
lot
with
of
you.
extra games. Um,
What was the stat you
plus,
gave us last year, like right before the Super Bowl? Because they
I mean,
played almost an entire season more
yeah,
than most.
exactly, almost exactly an entire season.
Yeah, that is a lot of games.
I think they'll do enough, possibly to get in as a wild card. Now, once they're in, look out. I mean, anything can happen once you're in the dance.
Yeah.
Um, but I think they're gonna take a step back a little bit. But if they win this week, and then they got the Ravens coming next week in Arrowhead, if they were to beat them, I mean, they're back to 2-2, and then game on.
All right. Let's look at this coming week here. Obviously, Thursday night, Dolphins, Bills. I'm not even going to discuss it. I'm going with the Bills.
Same. I'm gonna go Bills.
All right. Sunday, Packers at the Browns. You see where I stand.
Packers.
Agreed.
We're good. We're the same on the first three.
Okay. So you're already seeing Colts over the Titans. Agreed. All right.
Yeah.
Bengals at the Vikings. This one I struggled with. I'm going with the Vikings simply because I am not sold on the Bengals backup quarterback. I know he came
Why
in and
not?
he came
Why
in and
not?
had a decent game. I just I don't know. Something tells me
2020,
that
2023, he played 8 games for the Bengals since Burrow was injured and got him into the playoffs.
I mean it's something there. If the
Can I come
game
back to
was
that one?
yeah, sure. I was just gonna say if the
Uh,
game was in Cincinnati, I probably would have went the other way. Steelers
I'm
Patriots.
Patriots.
Really?
Yeah, man, the Steelers suck.
Okay, so the Aaron Rodgers decline is in full effect.
This
Rams
one is a
Eagles.
tough. I got to come back to this one too. That was a
Okay.
tough one.
Jets Bucks.
Buccaneers.
All right. Next up, Raiders at the Commanders. This is painful. For the first time this season, I'm not going with the Raiders, and I can see why. That secondary is going to get roasted.
I don't know. Jalen Daniels is injured, so he probably is not going to play.
I think
The
you could put
quarter.
a high school quarterback back there as long as he's somewhat accurate. The Raiders secondary is going to get roasted.
Yeah, I want to pick the Raiders, but
I
I
want to
also
too,
want
bro, but I'm smarter than that.
I also want to try to take the lead here. Um, Commanders. I'll go with Commanders. Although I want the record to state that I'm leaning towards the other. It's like 51-49 it comes to, just barely won that one.
I feel you on that.
Falcons. Falcons.
Falcons. Okay, we
Yeah.
need we say more. Texans at Jaguars. I think the Texans are going to get the win. There's some problems in Jacksonville. Their quarterback is
And
not
there's some
playing,
problem in Texans.
but I
There's
think
problems
Houston's
with the
going to pull
Texans.
out just enough defense to win this game. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, and I think whoever makes the best defensive plays is coming out of there.
Uh, I'm I'm hmm, I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Okay. And next up, the 3 o'clock games start. Broncos at Chargers. You know, I picked the Chargers.
Yeah, same.
After that, you got the Saints at the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, we're just going to start calling the Saints the Aints again. They're having some problems. Cowboys at the Bears. This is another trapdoor game, but I'm still going with the Cowboys.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
I don't know about all that, but yeah, we'll give them the win on this one. Uh, Cardinals at the 49ers.
Mhm. Cardinals with the upset,
Okay.
and it's not much of an upset, but
Nah.
Purdy's not playing. They got a lot of injuries. Man, this
Chiefs
one right
Chiefs at
here.
the Giants. This one, if
I'm gonna
the
come back to that one.
Giants, okay, if but I'm gonna say this, if the Giants play like they played the Cowboys, they're gonna give the Chiefs a problem. But I don't think they will. They got up for the Cowboys.
Damn, this
Anyway,
is also a tough one here.
I think the Ravens, and we go back to my old adage from last year: when in doubt, go with the home team. You know Detroit's
Man,
not going to score like they did on Chicago.
nah, they ran that score up on purpose.
And,
Um,
and I really believe that Baltimore can put up points against Detroit's defense.
yeah, I don't want to go too far out on a limb. So yeah, go ahead and put me down for the Ravens, but I would not be surprised if the Lions win that game.
All right, we're
Let's go
circling
back
back
up
up
to the
to that.
top here. So Carson Wentz is going to be the quarterback for the Vikings this week.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I think that's a tough one. But I'm going to go Bengals.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick Bengals. And I'm going to pick Eagles, even though I think the Rams are going to give them a run for the money.
Um, real quick before we finish out this last game, I'm gonna say this. Uh, Eagles. If the Eagles win this game, they have an outside shot for that one seed. I'm saying that early. If they lose this game, it could have ramifications way down towards the end of the season. Because remember, the Packers are balling, and the Rams, they're going to be much better than they were last year, and they were a playoff team last year. So this is a bigger game for the Eagles than it is for the Rams. Now,
I'm
Chiefs
a,
and the
I'm good.
Giants.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Chiefs.
Okay.
Although I have a really stinking sensation feeling that the Giants are going to pull it out. We do not play well in New York. We never have. So this is going to be a extremely close game, I think. However, we should win. And so I've already went out on a limb on a couple of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say Chiefs, and hopefully I'll have more green than you, and we'll go from there.
Well, let me see here before I close this up. 3, 4. We have 4 different games. So there's a possibility that you could take the lead, or we could split and still be tied next week. So anything can happen. You could win all 4 of these differences and take a huge lead. You could lose all 4, fall behind, or we split 2-2. We'll see. We'll
You
see how that
say you
goes.
see you say four. I'm only counting three. Which one am I missing?
Okay, let me see here. You got the Bengals. I got the Vikings. I got the Steelers. You got the
Oh no,
Patriots.
okay, there I got it now. Yeah, I missed the
Yeah,
first one. Yep.
yeah,
So it's the Niners Cardinals game and Jags
and
Texans,
yes, yeah.
Bengals
So so
Vikings, Steelers
so
Pats.
those 4. So that's gonna be interesting. And maybe in week 3 or 4, week 4 or 5, excuse me, because this is week 3, we can revisit that top 10 power rankings because I have a
I think
feeling
we
I
should
might
do
be.
it every week.
I mean, that's fine because I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to do some serious reshuffling because you
Yeah,
open my eyes with the Chargers, and that means that probably some other teams on my list are pretty damn suspect. So
Chargers are good. Chargers
we'll
are
see.
good. I'm impressed with them so far.
And remember, the Raiders are my team, so I'm probably still a little salty about that Monday night game.
I get that. I understand.
All right, let me get back here, and I want to touch on what I like to call the modern athlete. Um, and if we're comparing, what I'm comparing it to is like your golden age athlete. The differences
Give me an
between today's
example.
athlete. Let me roll with one in bodybuilding. You've seen pictures of the classic bodybuilder, big dude, buff
Hmm.
dude, but
Tony Atlas.
nowhere near what like a Lee Haney or a God, what's a good popular bodybuilder? Just ripped and huge
Like
and
old school or now?
now.
To be honest, I don't pay attention to bodybuilders now.
Okay.
Because it's not as big a deal as it was back when we was kids. You know, when you had Tony Atlas and all them out there.
that's true. That's true. But uh, things have changed. I mean, if you look at old school NBA players or football players versus now, the athletes are bigger and stronger, faster. Um, my God, there was a picture of I don't know who the
I
guy was.
disagree.
It's like Red Grange next to who was the running back for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, you don't agree with me that they have more of an advantage nowadays because of the things that they
That's
had?
not what you said. That's not what you said. You said they were bigger and faster.
Yeah, I would, I
You
would, I
didn't say
would.
they had more of an advantage. They obviously have more of an advantage because technology is different. But let's take football equations because you just said basketball.
Okay, we'll go with basketball. If you look at today's power forward versus the power forward from the '60s, those power forwards are a bit bigger.
Okay, so the players in the 90s in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
played a different game than what they play today.
Yeah.
So if you put the Pistons in there, the bad boys, those were tougher, stronger individuals than what we have playing today. So that's when I say I disagree. You go
Okay.
back to the early 90s NFL, Ronnie Lott would destroy these wide receivers coming across the middle now if the rules were the same. You don't see the Ray Lewis's, the Ed Reeds, those types of
Now,
strikes across
now,
the middle
now,
nowadays,
keep in mind, I consider Lott and Ed Reed and all them. I consider them as part of the modern era.
but they're not because the game is completely different.
Perhaps with Lott,
And we
but with
and we can
Reed,
even with Ed Reed, yeah, they're not allowed to hit them guys like that. Now it's a what they call personal foul, roughing the whatever, not roughing, unnecessary roughness.
now I will give you that. The rules have made players softer.
Yeah, they're not able to.
If you breathe on some
Yeah,
players, that you get
you
a
got to make
fine.
sure your head's in front. You hit them with the shoulder. I mean, there was a bunch of helmet contacts back then, and I get it, say player safety, but I don't necessarily think that.
Now, real quick before
For
you
Go ahead.
you can keep talking. I'll just put this graphic up. This is what I meant by the golden age when I use bodybuilding as an example. That first
Hmm.
one, that's your golden age. In the middle, you've got Schwarzenegger, and then now you've got that's Jay Cutler, and that's just from 2010. Um,
Jay
so
Cutler, didn't he used to quarterback the Bears?
not that Jay Cutler. If he looked like that, he'd probably still be playing. And they probably put him in a different
Uh,
position. But
but see,
yeah,
also you got Eugene there in 1900s. That's probably lifting nothing but heavy sand and things like that, in
yeah.
bottles.
And that's
Arnold
what I was getting
Schwarzenegger,
at. They've got more stuff at their disposal to
Arnold
help them.
Schwarzenegger. I bet you in the 70s that dude was had steroids, and I guarantee you Jay Cutler's got some of that in there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Whether it be a fair or unfair advantage, it was an advantage. So,
Yeah,
I am not anywhere, shape, or form saying that it was a fair advantage. I just believe that
but
they had
and I
different
will
things.
also use in those pictures just because Jay's so big does not mean he's stronger than the other two.
Oh, without a doubt. Uh,
Right, but you're saying the modern athletes is stronger and faster. I was just throwing that back. It doesn't necessarily mean that. I just think it's really hard to compare that because they 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 don't. Would Eugene be as big as Jay if he had the same advantages that Jay had? You know what I mean? Would Jay look more like Eugene if he didn't have the advantages?
and that's the reason why I wanted to bring this to the forefront. Going back to the NBA, for example, if you threw LeBron James in the '80s, he wouldn't dominate. He wouldn't.
He doesn't dominate
If
now.
he tried to go in the lane, he would get clapped.
Yeah, he doesn't
So
dominate now.
that's true too. That's true too.
I
Um,
mean, players past the 90s that I think probably could have survived in that era. I think Kobe could have survived in that era. I
well,
think
he emulated Jordan's game, so he could have.
um, I even think Seth Curry could do it in that era as well. He'd
Yeah.
be kind of like a Stockton, you know. Um, but like you put Dennis Rodman in this era, he would never be able to play because he'd always be suspended for hurting somebody.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, I can see the pros and cons, and that's what makes it so hard to compare eras because it's not just the people that are different; it is the style of play and the rules
Right.
that are different.
So like, I
Um,
mean, can you imagine if Dan Marino was playing quarterback in this era?
he would be lighting it up.
Right. He was killing stuff before. I mean, he would probably own all the records.
Dude had two receivers that nobody knew and made them stars.
The Marx Brothers, Clayton
Yep,
and Duper.
Clayton and Duper. Yep. So yeah, he would definitely be lighting it up. And by contrast, some of these current players would not be as well off in an older era, especially when you could tee off on a quarterback on just about every down. So
Yes.
it makes sense. What you say makes
Rough
total sense.
roughing the passer was not frowned upon.
No, it was the cameramen were looking for it because that would make a great highlight.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and I
But I
agree
think
with
that's
what you say
also
about
what
Ronnie Lott. But if you take who's the Steelers safety, Troy Polamalu, oh, he would have been great in the '80s. He would have lit some
uh
people up.
yeah, I still think though back then he would have been a little bit too small.
Probably, probably.
But he definitely had the heart for it. Like who's Debo? They call him Debo, played for the Steelers. Harrison, the
Yeah,
linebacker.
yeah.
Oh, he would have dominated
Oh yeah.
without a doubt.
Oh, he would definitely dominated. So uh, it's just something to think about. And I'm going to pose the question like I normally do every week for everybody. I want to know what you guys think about the modern day athletes compared to athletes from bygone. Who do you think would dominate versus who wouldn't dominate if switched in either era? Let us know. You can email us at the Slightly Warped Podcast at yahoo.com. Or if you're on this feed here for YouTube, go ahead and enter them comments right there. Check them out too. And got an interesting one for everybody next week. We are going back because, third week of the month. It's that time. We are going to be talking about true crime. And it might be a crime if Big Show comes in and steals this week's NFL picks. So we're going to check that out too. Show, you got
It's gonna
anything before we
happen.
get out of here?
Uh, just continue to love each other. Um, all of us true, believers in Christ, just be listening for that trumpet because I have a feeling it's coming before too long. And I look forward to skipping down the streets of gold with you guys. Love each other. See you
Amen.
next week. Tomorrow's not promised.
You guys take care.